Alright, welcome back. In this video, we are going to design an ebook cover using Adobe Photoshop. This is the details of the book. We have the title, subtitle, and author name. At the end, this is what the cover will look like. Now let's get started. Let's open Photoshop and create a new project. Add the book size. The book size is 1563 by 2500 pixels. Resolution, let's leave that at 300 pixels per inch. Then RGB color mode. Then click create. Now we have our document, and now let's design on this document. Let's find the right images to start with. The title of the book is Home of the Brave, and the subtitle is Praise the Power that hath made and reserved us as a nation. This is a book on patriotism and bravery. The best type of cover image to use will be an image of a marine or a soldier with a flag and maybe a symbol that represents power. Let's say this is a book written in the US. You could use a US flag with a soldier and maybe the US Pentagon or the White House in the background. Something like that. So now let's go online and find images to use. Open pixabay.com and pexels.com. First, search for soldier. I think I like this image. Click and then download the image. Then let's find a White House image. I think this one is okay. Click and then download it. Then next, let's find a US flag. Enter American flag. Then scroll until you find one that is good. This one is good. Let's download this one. Now we have all the images we need, and now we can now import them into Photoshop. Now let's go back to Photoshop. Now we have a transparent background. Let's make the background black. The foreground color is black right now, so click Alt or Option plus Backspace to paint it with the foreground color. Now it's black. Now go to File and then Open, and let's import the first image. It's now opened in a new tab. Now let's drag the image over the Document tab, hold, and then when it opens, drop. Ctrl T or Command T, and then adjust. I want to keep only the soldier in the middle, so I will drag it in the middle like this, and then check. Now let's remove the background, leaving only the soldier. Now select the Quick Selection tool, and here at the top, click Select Subject. Now the subject is selected. Right here you can see some part of the background is showing. You can deselect that area, hold down the Alt key or Option key, and then brush outside the selection in order to remove that from the selection. Now it's okay. Now click Layer Mask to mask and hide the background. Now you can see it's rough around the edges, but it's okay. We can use this. If you like, you can make use of the pen tool or the object selection tool in order to make a perfect selection, but this is okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now let's import the second image. Go to File, Open, and then drag the image into the Document window tab, hold and drop. Drag it down, Ctrl T or Command T, then reduce, drag it down, and then place it at the bottom like this. Then check. Now let's remove the sky part of the image. We can use any of the selection tools, but sometimes I like to use the gradient tool. Let's use the gradient tool and let's see if that works. Select the image layer first and click here to add a layer mask. Now make sure you click inside the mask and then select the gradient tool and then gently brush down. Brush down again. Brush the bottom part too until you have something like this. This is not the best, but it's okay. We can still leave it for now. Now let's import the last image. Go to File, Open, and then select the image. I actually like this flag image better, so I'm going to use this one. And I like this because the background here is black, so it's going to work best for the background. Drag it into the Document window tab, hold and drop. Now drag it down and then move the layer below the other images on top of the background. Now move it with the left arrow key and adjust until the flag is behind the subject. Now add the layer mask to the flag layer, then use the brush or gradient tool and brush the lower ends like this. Now select the layer marks of the subject and do the same like this. Now it's okay. And we are done with the images. Now let's add the text. Let's start with the author name at the top. The author name is George Lincoln. Select the text tool and then click to add the text layer. Now type the name George Lincoln. Then double click on the layer and then change the font to Antonio font. Antonio regular. The color, let's make it some brown color like this one. Now reduce the font size to about 24, 25. Then move it up and center it horizontally. Now let's add a title. Make sure the text tool is still selected. Click to add a text layer and then type Home. Double click on the layer and increase the font size. Now download this Gesso font. You can download it from Font Squirrel or any other font site. Install it after download. Now change the font to this Gesso font and then increase the size again until it's like 120. Then open the character panel and from here adjust the letter spacing. Then make the color white. Then move with the move tool. Then move it down. Then next, click to add off and then reduce that to about 40, 42. Then move it here on the right side of Home. Duplicate that layer with Ctrl J or Command J and change the duplicated copy to THE and then move it down. Now I want the text characters to be close and tight, so select the Home text layer, then open the character panel and then here reduce the letter spacing. Reduce it to like maybe -20 or -25. Now I think it's okay. Now move the other two layers like this and then use the same spacing. Then adjust all the layers. And now it's okay. Let's leave that for now. Duplicate the Home layer with Ctrl J or Command J and let's type Brave over the duplicated copy. Then move it down. Now I want the Brave text layer to be as wide as the top layer with the Home and the other text. So double click on the Brave layer and then increase the size to about 130. I think 129 is good. Then adjust the others until it's okay. Let's make the color brown. Same color used on the author's name layer. And now it looks okay to me. Now I'm going to select all the layers and I'm going to group them. Ctrl or Command T to select all the layers and then let's move the layers. Move it until it's somewhere in the middle. At least it's horizontally aligned like this. So now let's add a subtitle. I'm going to move the title a little bit up and then move the image down so we can have space for the subtitle. Now copy the subtitle and then select the text tool. Duplicate the author name layer and paste the subtitle on the duplicated layer. Now reduce it and move it down below the title. Then in the character panel, let's reduce the letter spacing to maybe 0. And now increase the font size until the text layer is as wide as the title layer on top. Now move it to the center. Let's make the color white and you can see it looks okay. Now you can move this layer into the title group. Now let's make adjustments here and there. Select this layer and select the gradient tool. Make sure you click inside the layer marks and then brush up. Let's brush the lower part of the flagpole so that we can see the title very well. And you can see it looks okay. Now let's add some effects to the text. Select Home and then click Layer Style and let's select Drop Shadow. Then the mode, leave it at multiply then adjust the opacity, the distance, the spread, and of course the shadow size. Now you can see that the text looks better. Now click OK. Let's apply the same layer style to other text layers. So right click on the layer and then select copy layer style. Then right click on the other layers and then select paste layer styles. Then do this for this one too, and this, and this, and this. Then move this layer up, move the flag down so we can see the text better. Now the flagpole, I think we should remove this mask. Right click inside the mask and let's delete the mask. I think this looks better, so let's leave it as it is. And let's adjust the off and the D text. You can move the layers with the arrow key. Move this one down, then move this one up, then move this forward, and then this one too, until the edge is straight with the lower text layer. And now it's okay. The bottom White House image, let's make it better. I think I'm going to delete the mark, so let's use the quick selection tool instead, and then maybe use it with the brush tool. Let's turn off the text layer so we can see the image well. Now click here and drag the quick selection tool over the White House image. So just drag over the top, then the trees, and then down to select the lower part of the image. Now zoom in with Ctrl or Command++, and let's add some of the poles on the building to the selection. Add some of this to the selection. The top part of the tree, we can add it to the selection, or we can just exclude the top part of the tree. Then don't forget the windows. Once done, click here to add the layer mask, and you can see it's better than before. And now let's select the brush tool and brush out some of the top part of the image. Make sure the foreground color is black, and then gently brush like so. And now Ctrl+- or Command+- to zoom out, and you can see it looks better. Now let's see what it looks like when we turn on the text layers, and you can see it's okay. Now select all the image layers and then group them, and then give it a name. I'm going to give it images. And now this one, you can move it into the text group. This image, we can make it better. Click on the image, then click inside the marks and select the brush tool, making sure your foreground color is black, and then brush on top like this. And now you can see it's better. Then the lower end, you can brush so to add some black to the lower part of the image. Finally, let's add color adjustment. Let's use the curve adjustment. Click the top image and then click here, then click to add adjustment layer on top of the image. Let's select curves, move this down, and then you can see the images look a little bit darker, and it's better actually. Then next, let's add maybe levels. Then drag this, and you can turn it off and on to see the before and after. If you like, you can add maybe vibrance and then drag this to 100%. And now we are done, and it's time to save. Go to File, Save As, save first as PSD, and of course JPEG. And let's see the results. This is the result, and you can see it looks okay. And this is an ebook cover design using the information given. Check the description for the resources used in this design. I hope you liked the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. On to the next video.